A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic exchange, President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico engaged in a conversation with President-elect Donald J. Trump, a meeting that has sparked discussions across political spectrums. The dialogue took place on Wednesday afternoon, and both leaders characterized the discussion positively, albeit with differing accounts of the outcomes. Trump took to social media to announce that Mexico had agreed to take stringent measures to halt migration through its borders to the United States, claiming it would effectively close our southern border. Meanwhile, Sheinbaum's response was more measured, emphasizing Mexico's ongoing strategies rather than a complete closure of its borders. This exchange follows a series of threats from Trump regarding potential tariffs on imports from Mexico and other countries, aimed at curbing the flow of migrants and drugs into the U.S. On Monday, Trump announced his plans to impose 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. The move is seen as a tactic to compel these nations to take more decisive action against the influx of migrants and the fentanyl crisis that has plagued the United States. In a letter addressed to Trump, Sheinbaum had previously criticized his approach, stating that half of the migrants arriving at the U.S. border utilize the CBP-1 program, and that the drug crisis is fundamentally a public health and consumption problem within American society. She urged Trump to reconsider his stance, advocating for cooperation and mutual understanding rather than threats and tariffs. She emphasized that every action would provoke a corresponding response from Mexico. Following their conversation, Sheinbaum reiterated her commitment to maintaining open channels between the two nations. She stated, "We discussed Mexico's strategy on the migration phenomenon, and I shared that caravans are not arriving at the northern border because they are being taken care of in Mexico. Our position is not to close borders, but to maintain bridges between governments and people." The backdrop to this exchange includes recent statistics from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, which reported a 60% decrease in individuals crossing the border without contact with the agency from 2023 to 2024. Additionally, enforcement efforts at the northern border have led to a 50% reduction in Border Patrol encounters from June to September. This recent conversation between Trump and Sheinbaum is reminiscent of a previous interaction Trump had with former Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto shortly after taking office in 2017. During that call, Trump pressured Peña Nieto to stop publicly stating that Mexico would not fund a wall along the southern border. The historical context adds layers to the current dialogue, as Trump has a track record of leveraging tariffs and immigration policy as negotiation tools. Maggie Haberman, a New York Times reporter with extensive coverage of Trump, expressed skepticism regarding the outcomes of the recent call. She remarked, "Trump has made statements like that before when he was president, and it didn't actually amount to the closure of a border. It comes a day after he made some very aggressive tariff threats against Mexico and Canada, and so, I think that's probably not a coincidence." Haberman noted that Trump's informal and unstructured calls with world leaders often serve as opening bids in negotiations, suggesting that the true implications of the call may unfold in the coming days. As the situation develops, the international community watches closely to see how these discussions will impact U.S.-Mexico relations and the broader geopolitical landscape. The interplay between tariffs, migration, and drug trafficking remains a contentious issue, with both leaders facing pressure from their respective constituencies to deliver tangible results. Moving forward, the call for cooperation and mutual understanding may be the key to navigating these complex challenges, but whether both nations can find common ground remains to be seen. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.